Kemi Badenoch yet again showed us how much of a weak leader she really is. Now, it's obvious she's had some interview training because some of her earlier interviews are an absolute car crash, where in this case she did a lot better. However, the content that she's providing still doesn't show her in a very favourable light. You see, her brain seems to be wired up that it's still a two-party system, Labour versus Conservatives, and all she seems to be focused on right now is Labour, when her real main opposition at this time is Reform. The general election is not going to be for another 4 years, so she's got plenty of time to chip away at the government's plans. But right now, Reform are overtaking them in the polls, they're snapping up Conservative councillors, and they're pinching their donors. Reform are really on track to do well at the local elections, and yet Badenoch still can't bring herself to criticise Nigel Farage. During an interview today, she was more than happy to launch personal attacks on Keir Starmer, as pointed out by Sky News. There's the cut and thrust of politics, sure, but then there's personal.
This morning you accused the Prime Minister personally of cowardice, having, I'm quoting here, having no moral core, twisting in the wind, thinking he's too clever to be held to account. Is this the way you're going to fight the rest of the election campaign? It's not very elevated, is it?
I'm going to speak the truth. When the Prime Minister is at PMQs and he's being rude and dismissive, you don't ask him whether that's the way he's going to conduct himself.
But you don't like it when he has a go at you because of you.
I don't. People can have a go at me for whatever reason. I will speak the truth.
You know, a casual reader would say that you actually dislike the Prime Minister.
No, I don't dislike him. I dislike his politics, and I dislike the fact that there's no conviction in anything that he does. How can we have a Prime Minister who doesn't know what a woman is until the Supreme Court tells him? What does he know about the economy then? What's he going to do about foreign affairs? We've just been talking about Trump and Zelensky. If someone is too afraid to say what they think because they're afraid of what the media will say or what others will say, then how can they lead the country?
It's one thing to say that your opponent's act is cowardly. It's another thing to say the person who's facing you is a coward. And what you're saying this morning is that this man is a coward. He has no moral core. He twists in the wind. He thinks he's too clever, i.e. he's too arrogant. How can you say you like such a person? That is personal.
This is politics. I'm saying what I see. I don't have many interactions with him outside PMQs. I will say what I see. My job is to be the leader of the opposition, to hold the government to account.
Yet when the same opportunity arose for Nigel Farage, she wouldn't bring herself to do it.
TUC boss Paul Novak says this morning that Nigel Farage is, I'm quoting him here, a political fraud and a hypocrite, cosplaying as a champion of the working class. Would you endorse that message?
So it's not for me to speak for the TUC or endorse them. I've been very clear that Nigel Farage wants to destroy the Conservative Party. He said so himself. This is one of the greatest institutions of our country, I firmly believe. He is not someone that I'm interested in doing business with. And he's already lost 20% of his party. Rupert Lowe himself, someone who came in wanting to make Farage Prime Minister, says that man must not be Prime Minister. So let the people who've worked with him speak for him. I'm here to speak for the Conservative Party. We are the only credible party right now that's standing for local government. We know that people
You're happy to talk about the Prime Minister's character, but you're not so keen to talk about Farage's
character. That's because I'm the leader of the opposition, not the opposition to Reform, the opposition to the government. That is the job that I have been given. I don't want to spend all my time talking about all the other minor party leaders. I've got to talk about who's running the country.
You may not be the opposition to Reform, but you are a competitor. And we read this morning that one of the Conservative Party's big donors, Basim Haidar, donated £700,000 to the Tories under Rishi Sunak, has announced he's giving £1 million to Reform. You must be worried that he's just the first of many.
No, I'm not worried. We are raising money as well in the Conservative Party.
The rest of the Conservatives are conceding that Farage is a problem. These splitting their vote and knocking them down into third place in the polls. Robert Jenrick, who isn't being shy about wanting a job, was recorded saying that he'll be doing a deal with him. Has she sacked him? No. Has she demoted him? No. But when I play the clip, do look at her because you can see the micro expressions on her face. I mean, she's really not happy about it. Now, to be fair to her, it could be that she hasn't actually got enough MPs to cover all shadow roles, so she might not actually have any option. And to put him on the backbenches means that, well, he could become more vocal and outspoken against her.
It's a general election where the nightmare scenario is that Keir Starmer sails in through the middle as a result of the two parties being disunited. I don't know about you, but I'm not prepared for that to happen. I would way or another, I'm determined to do that and to bring this coalition together and make sure that we make this coalition.
Now, some people interpret this as disloyalty, a leadership bid and all that, and if you want to tell me that's what you think it is, by all means do so. But I think it sounds more like something pretty obvious, which is an acceptance of reality, that as long as there are two parties competing on the centre-right, you are never going to get into Downing Street. Isn't he right?
That's not what he's saying at all. We've had
so
many
what's he
parties.
saying?
Well, look at it this way, Trevor. There are many parties competing on the left: Lib Dems, Greens,
I'm
Labour.
talking about what
no, let
the
me
right.
finish. If I
I'm
may,
talking about what he said.
Yes.
Not...
So, and yet Labour still won. Just because they're competing parties on one side doesn't mean one party cannot win.
No, it actually fell to Kevin Hollerake over on Laura Kuenssberg to openly attack Farage. He said everything that she should have done, and she should have shown leadership, shown that she's aware that reform is more of a threat to her than Labour is right now. But instead, she's too busy playing childish games and name-calling against Starmer.
There'll be no pact with reform. I mean, how can you have a pact with a party that wants to nationalise large swathes of UK industry and wants to privatise the NHS? It seems to favour Vladimir Putin over Ukraine. You know, thinks it says it's Ukraine's fault that Russia invaded it. There are some real differences between us. Reform exists because of mistakes we made previously. What we need to do is correct those mistakes, show people that we're going to get it right this time on immigration. We had many successes over the last 14 years, but we did get some things wrong. We need to show people that we'll get it right this time. And the policies you'll see coming forward from Kemi Badenoch will be proper Conservative policies.
If the Conservatives are consistently coming behind reform, isn't there an inevitable logic that you either split the vote on the right or you come together in some way or another and then you actually have a chance at power again? You might be the junior partner.
Well, I don't see it like that. The polls today are not the polls that will be in 2029. We know that, all that for certain. And I understand why people are voting reform. It's a protest vote right now. And even Rupert Lowe, a senior figure in reform, said that the party is a party of protest. I understand why they're doing that. What we need to do is get things right. It will take time to do that. There is no doubt this Thursday will be a difficult night for us in terms of seats. But remember what people are voting for this Thursday. They're not voting for the next few weeks. They're voting for a councillor who's going to represent them over the next 4 years.
And although Kevin Hollerake might have got it right this time around, Farage is a creation of the Tories' failure. He still managed to insult not every waste collector in the country, but also the armed forces, all in one sentence. And if you want to know what that was, well, then you need to watch the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.